evening and welcome to this edition of Girls Play 2. I'm your host, Earl Basin, and joining me is several members of the Bermuda Women's National Team. We'll start, let them introduce themselves, and we're going to start with you, Danny.
Hi, everybody. My name is Danny Watson. I play for Bermuda's under 15, under 17, and under 20 national teams, and I am a defender.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm Sakari. I've played for the under 15, under 17, and under 20 women's national team, and I'm a goalkeeper.
Evening, my name is Jaya Battery Smith. I've played for the under 15, under 17, and under 20 national team, and we are now training with the women's team.
Evening, I'm Tiana Morton. I played for the U15, U17, and U20 national team, and I play right back.
Good evening. My name is Kawaga Child. I've played for the U15, U17, and U20 team, and my position is right wing.
Right wing, okay. Of course, none other than the coach, one of the coaches.
Good evening, my name is Vance Brown. I have the distinct pleasure of coaching all of them throughout the career.
Yeah. Vance, let me stay with you for a minute. Working with these young ladies, giving them a start, how has that been for you? Because I know some of these young ladies, when they would have first started, would have liked the game, but getting that technique, getting that the love of the game, how was that for you?
Well, from when they originally started playing to where they have grown now, I've had the pleasure of seeing all of their progress and quite happy with their progress and excited now to see them playing in the senior team. But it's been very, very good. I had some good points, I had some bad times, but overall it's been good and very good watching them grow.
Yeah. Let me bring up the girls. So Tiana, how did you get started in this program? What got you involved in football?
And Coach Kita recruited me through Manny, the manager at the time, and just asked me to come to training, and then from there, just kept playing with him.
Was football one of the things that you enjoyed before you got heavily involved?
Yeah, I played when I was younger. I didn't take it as serious until I got to school. And then in middle school and high school, I realized that I really liked what I was doing.
What about you? How did you get involved? I know you got a big family that loves the bigger ball. So go ahead.
Well, I've always played football since I was younger, but I think I got involved with the national team, and Richard Todd was still involved, Coach Todd, and he got me involved with everything. And then when Coach Kita came around, she made sure I stayed with it.
Okay, all right. And let's try. Get ready. Yeah. So how did you get involved?
Actually, growing up, I did track all my life growing up, but a lot of my friends in middle school played football, and I wanted to try it out. So one day I played. We made it to the finals, I believe, and we didn't have a goalkeeper, so I just went in goal. Coach Kita saw me as she worked with Tia Tatum, and then yeah, she just told me to come along.
Okay, all right. And Dora?
So I started playing football when I was like 10, I think, because Valencia, they used to train at my school at Soldiers, and I always used to walk to my mom's job, and I used to see all my friends playing. So I told my daddy that I wanted to play, and my daddy and my uncle, they play football, so he was like, I guess, excited to get me into football. So I started playing for Valencia, and then I started playing at school. And then like when I got to middle school, when we would like play T and Tatum, like Zakari said, and Coach Kitty used to work there. She invited me or suggested that I came to like a training or whatever, and I went and I've enjoyed it. So yeah, so I got involved.
All right. What about you, Danny?
I've actually been playing football my whole life. I started off when I was like 5 in like the little younger leagues, like the BYSP leagues that they started like when I was younger, and then I played for Somerset. And then when I was in middle school, I went to Tatum, which is how I got involved with the National Academy, because Coach Kita saw that I had loved to play and saw that I had been playing for a long time. And I guess she thought I was finally old enough to try it out. And since then, I've just been involved.
Vance, you've been around the women's game in this country for quite some time. The transformation that you've seen these young ladies make at such a young age, to what we were used to back, when we had club teams. How has that transition been from you for you watching it from behind the scenes on a regular basis?
Well, very exciting, because as you stated, my first involvement was with older girls, so we really didn't have the youth players coming through. But now that we've got the youth players, and these girls haven't been a product of the youth teams, definitely exciting times ahead, and bodes well for Bermuda, I think, in the future, in women's football, because now if you come up on a Saturday afternoon at BFA Field, Clyde Bass Center of Excellence, you see almost over 200 young players playing, and that's exciting. We've never seen that, or I didn't see that when I first started. And how I got started, I was actually coaching a men's team. I left that job and wasn't working for about a year. And then a guy, his name is Derek Bean, they call him Rocky, invited me to a training session. He was coaching the girls, and he never showed up. So I ended up being the default coach, and I've been there ever since. That was a long time ago, but definitely the future is definitely bright. Seeing the young players coming, and then seeing these girls here, most of them played in the under 15 team that won the Division II championship. Now, having seen them grow to play in the seniors, I'm excited to see them.
John, what have you liked about this group that you're with? I know you're one of the younger ones, but what have you liked about this group?
For the most part, the group that we're with, we have been with since U15. Like everyone in this interview right now, I've been with since U15. So we've been in the same team since. But with the older girls that we are just starting to play with, they're very encouraging. Like you seldom feel put down at training with them.
Okay, all right, cool. What about you, Bakari?
The team, it's always a good time, especially when traveling. Like there's never been a bad trip. I think that we're really comfortable with each other, and we have really good team chemistry.
Yeah, okay. And Danny, for you?
Yeah, as Jai said, like we've been playing together for a really long time, and like me specifically with Jai, like I've been playing with Jai since I think we were like 6, 8, because of like Somerset. So like my chemistry with like a lot of the girls, like on this course specifically, is like really strong. But when it comes to the older girls, like I think that I really enjoy playing with like the high intensity, like they have a little bit more experience than some of us, so we're able to like feed off of that, and I think it creates like a good atmosphere at training and stuff.
What about you, Tiana?
Like Danny and Jaya said, we've been playing with each other for a long time, so it definitely benefits us when we keep training and getting all these experiences together. And then being able to play with the older players. I personally have played with Ava before in the U20s when we hosted it in Bermuda. So that's very nice. And then the older players, it's nice to see them training with us, because then you're creating new bonds and new experiences with them as well.
And medals?
I've definitely agree with what everyone said. I think what I like most is the chemistry that we've created. Like, even though everyone that's here right now has been playing since like I was 13, I still, when I compare that to the bonds that are being created with the older women that we just started training with, like, obviously we're not as close as my team from under 15, but I know that we will become closer on and off the field, because they all, like, I feel like it's the atmosphere, like we all want to get better and we all have the same goal, which is to represent our country and be successful. So I feel like because we all have like a common goal, that we just work together very well and we all gel, and I feel like that's gonna help us be successful.
What would you girls consider one of the toughest things you've had to do to get a team cohesiveness, both on and off the field? Let me start with you, Danny.
I think that I don't think it was very hard. Like, I think that because we were all kind of the same age, it made it a lot easier. And like, Bermuda's a small place. But I think that as far as making us gel as a team, a lot of off the field stuff, like, people don't think that, like, our downtime is like really important, but when we're in each other's rooms playing cards or just talking about, let's say, like the game that happened before, it really creates like that trust amongst each other, which builds our chemistry, whether like, we realize it or not. And it gets really fun. So yeah.
Okay. What about you, Zakar? As a goalkeeper, you got a lot of work to do to keep everybody kind of in the game.
I think that. Wait, can you elaborate on your question, please?
Well, you guys, you kind of knit together, but what was one of the toughest things you felt was one of a challenge to get you guys to bond together, both on and off the field?
I honestly don't think it was much of a challenge, as Danny said, because we're all friends. We all knew each other before we started playing. Well, most of us. And I think that because we already had some friendships in the team and us constantly training together, that we constantly just gelled together.
Okay. All right. What about you, Jaya?
I don't think we really had a hard part of bonding. I just think from the beginning, because we were so young, we had football in common. It was just, we bonded from the beginning.
Okay. All right. Yana?
Yeah, I think since we spent so much time together, even before the trips and everything, just training 3 times a week, that built bonds. Even when we would have new players come in and stuff, it was never really leaving anybody out, because we're all very welcoming. So I don't think anybody would have felt left out. We just kind of automatically migrate together.
And cool.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Everyone said. I think because like football, well, for me anyway, like I feel like you have to like be yourself. Like, our teammates have seen, well, me personally, like I've cried, laughed, the whole everything. So I feel like there's a sense of just us being like true to ourselves, and that forces us to get to know each other and become like forge genuine relationships. So I don't think like there's ever been a time where I found it hard to feel like a team or get along or like gel on or off the field. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Vance, I want to talk a little bit about positions, because obviously you and Keita and Denkins work together. And you look at a player and they might play in a position for a team, but when they come into the setup, you might see another strength in them. How do you guys identify that as a group, and then try to get the most out of the player once they're within the program?
Well, we have our battles. There's a couple of players on this call that we're looking at in different positions, and we all have our opinions. But I think the three of us have worked together so long, and we know each other, in football so well that we always come to the same decision or a similar decision. One problem I'm definitely having right now is Koa playing a little higher. She's trying to be a right winger, and I don't know if she knows, but I haven't seen the value in that yet, because for
Oh,
me, she's probably one of our better fullbacks that we have in the team. But the coaches, we talk it out, and we're gonna come up with the best solution for the player and for the team. I give credit to Keita and Jenkins, for the work that they put in as well.
Mm, mm. I think you were disagreeing with what Coach Vance was saying. What you gotta say? Why you was disagreeing with Coach
no,
Vance?
not to the extent to say I disagree, but I was playing, like, he made it seem like I was like, oh, can I please go up there and let me play right wing? That's where they asked me to play, and I was just trying to do my best because I just thought that's what was needed for the team, and he's trying to act like I try to leave.
We know you went to Coach Keita and you begged to play up higher. We know, don't you girls know that? That sounds like cool, right?
No,
That
definitely
three
not.
of them nodded their head yes. Three of them nodded their head yes. That's cool. Can I play higher? I want to score goal.
That's Danny.
What do you think, Jaya? What do you think? That's cool, right?
Thank you, Kaya.
She'll be a friend after this. Don't worry about it. It'll be all right. Being that I spoke to the coach about positions, let me talk to you girls about the position in which you like to play and why you like to play that position. I'm going to start with you, Tiana. What position do you said the position? Why that particular position?
Right now, like since we started training with the women's team, I've been playing left back or right back on the defense. But when I started U15, 17s, I was playing striker. But as I got older and like when I went to IMG and stuff, they started putting me back and back. And I realized that I like being in the defense because I could see the whole field all the time. And I just feel like, I don't know, defenders don't get as much recognition as the people scoring goals. But I don't know, it's a very good feeling when you stop a goal or you defend a player and stop their play.
Okay, all right. Watch this here. All right, Koa, where you like to play? Come on.
Where do I like to play?
Yeah.
I like to play right back because like right now, I'm not saying that I don't think I would be good as a right winger, but like right now in this very moment, if you were to ask, I would say right back because like that's just where I'm comfortable, and I can admit to myself that I have to get out of my comfort zone. Like if right wing is where the team or where I'm needed, I'm okay with that. But I just prefer right back because I don't know. I feel like Tiana said, like I was not really what Tiana said, but like the defenders that I've played with, like coming along in the tournaments and stuff, I feel like we were like, I don't know how to describe it. We're just all besties. I feel like we all gel really well. Like the whole team gels, but I feel like being like right back to the two center backs and the left back, I feel like we have like a connection. We just play really well together. So yeah, that's why I like playing right back. But and I also really don't like being involved in the attack only because I don't know. It's just a lot of pressure. But I mean, it's also a lot of pressure defending, but I've learned to deal with that better than I have being farther up the field.
Okay. All right. Nothing wrong with that. Jaya, what about you? Yeah.
I enjoy playing out on the wing. I don't know. I've just played there for majority of my life. It's just something that comes to me naturally. It's not like I have to overthink it most of the time. It's just I don't know. I feel free there. It's just my.
Do you find it's less traffic? You're not going into too many times, like it's more one-on-one out wide, and not a whole lot of confusion in the middle?
Yeah, for the most part, if you use like the width of the field, then is not as many players around you as being in the center.
Okay, all right, cool. And let's go to Danny.
This is not a stranger to anybody. I love being involved in the attack. Like I've been a defender my entire life. I've never not been a defender. But recently I've been like I was predominantly in the center back position, but like recently, even like after coming back from school, I've been playing a lot like fullback and like a very like involved with the attack fullback. So I've like really been enjoying that. But like I'm a defender at heart. Like there's no change in that. Like I find myself getting in like my coaches would like, want to help me out and put me in the attack. And then next thing you know, like in our 18-yard box for no reason. I just have like a defensive instinct. And again, not that it's a strange to anybody, I love to tackle. So like I feel like I can't do it
As an attack.
Yeah, I feel like I can't do it as much or as rough as I like to in an attacking position because that can, hinder things for us as a team. But yeah, I'm a defender at heart, but I do love like getting involved in the attack.
Good. And the goalkeeper.
So for me, I've been a goalkeeper since I first started. Because I did track, I wanted to try midfield, but I just ended up being in goal. What I like about being in goal is that obviously everyone likes to fly around and make the big saves, but I also feel like I'm able to organize the team, especially the defense. Like I could tell them to step, when to drop back. And I could also be a pressure relief, as in if we're all attacking and then we need an outlet, I'm always free. Like no one marks a goalkeeper. So I could help build plays and obviously make a lot of good saves.
Okay, all right. Now let's get into your strengths and your weaknesses, because every player identifies what their strength is and they know whether they want to admit it or not, what their weakness is. So let's start. We're going to go back in reverse. So let's start with you, Lucari. What is your strength and what is your weakness?
Personally, I think my punts and okay, I'll go with punts first. Away in school, I've had a lot of really good, almost assists. I would say, as in I'll get a cross and punt it up to the striker, and they will almost score. I think that's one of my strengths, and also playing with my feet, I think, is a strength, as in I could receive the ball, open my body, and hit a winger. One of my weaknesses, I would probably say, I don't think it's really a weakness, but since I can't control it, but my height, playing away, I'm actually a really short goalkeeper. So a lot of crosses, all the guards will be bigger than me. So I think that is a weakness. But I've been doing a lot of leg workouts and stuff to try and help build up my jumps and stuff.
Okay. All right. Over to you, Danny. Everybody, you already said you love tackling, so.
That's my thing. But yeah, that's it just comes in naturally for me. I love it. It's like exhilarating. But another thing I think I'm really strong at is my heading. For a short player, I'm like one of the few people on the team that like actually like gets there and like But I would say yeah, that and like recovering, like I would say covering is also like one of my biggest strengths, like being able to make up for ground, like if we got caught out of the back and things like that. I mean, we just have a really fast back line in general, but yeah, and I would say my weakness is definitely my non-dominant foot, which is my right foot. Definitely, it has definitely grown over the years. I would say that for sure. Like we would have those moments on the team, like the other day in practice, I like scored a goal with my right foot and like everybody went crazy with me and like it was like amazing. But definitely my right foot. Just keep working on that, being able to like hit longer balls and things like that is like what I'm working on, next.
All right. Over to you, Jaya.
I think my strength is I come from a football family, so when I like when I'm playing, I'm able to think football. Like it's not just get the ball and run or get the ball and kick. I'm able to think and look for the better plays, I guess I can say. And my weakness is sometimes I do second guess myself and what I think, but I just think that comes with confidence and it's something I'm gonna have to work through.
Cool. All right. Thanks for the honesty. How about you, Tiana? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I think one of my strengths would be my persistence. Like, say I have a one-on-one with a player or whatever it may be. If I don't get the ball, I'm gonna try and get the player. If I don't get the player, I'm gonna get the ball type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my weaknesses would be I tend to get very nervous, so my confidence is low, which then leads to mistakes like making the wrong pass or losing the ball at the time. So I need to work on that for sure.
Okay, cool. And Metals?
I think a strength of mine is that I guess I'm okay. A strength of mine is that I'm fast and I think that I'm strong. So whether that's when I have to kick the ball, or like if I'm shielding off a player, I think I'm able to use my strength, like my physical strength in many ways to benefit me. I think a weakness that I have is it's not because I can't think of one. I'm trying to think how I could say. I think that I need to work on making the right decision because, like, I think I know the right decision, but whether or not, like, I don't know if I, like, say the pass, like, I know what pass I'm supposed to make, but, like, I don't know why I just don't make it, or I would try to, like, give a long ball when I know the pass is right there. Another weakness I want to work on is my first touch. Like, just my technical ability in general, and I want to be like on a defensive mindset. I want to be like more aggressive. Like I feel like I can be aggressive like when it comes to like if someone's trying to get the ball, like I'm gonna shield you off the ball, but like when like say the ball's in the air, I'm not going like put my life on the line to stop. Yeah, I want to work on that so that I can bring more as far as defending.
Okay, all right. Now, Vance, you've heard all of them speak. Is that something you would agree with how they evaluated themselves?
Let me clear something up first. I never said that Koa wanted to play up front. I said the coaches were having a discussion. So I think she needs to apologize to me.
Coach Vance, you said that Koa thinks that she could play right wing. That's what you said.
Rewind the tape. But no, I think most of it, Earl, is very very true. I think sometimes when you're asking players to describe a weakness, they actually say too much. Like for instance, and again, not saying anything, because Koa probably for me is one of the hardest kickers of the ball in Bermuda. When it comes to the women's side, she kicks harder than some guys, I would think. So using that as a confidence to know that I can get that pass short to that person quickly before anyone gets on it. So that's just knowing yourself. Most of it I would agree on. Most of the strengths, yes, I would have to agree with. One thing for Zakari, for her, for me, she knows I get on her every game, and that she plays, that I'm there. I want her to always, take command, take control of the area of the game, and just be that person, that focal point. Talk more to the defenders, because as I think Danny said, there's a really good bunch of defenders that we have there. And now with the senior players being added, it even excites me or it excites the coaches even more to say that, okay, we were short in this area. Now we have an abundance of talent in the defense. So yeah, definitely agree with all of them.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the most memorable match you've had thus far, and why. And I'm going to start with you, Koa, because you're here on my list. Come on, man.
Okay, I would say, I don't know if everyone else is gonna say this, so I'm gonna say it first. The most memorable game for me was when we beat Jamaica, and I feel like everybody's gonna say that, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Because like when we got up 3-2, like you can, whether you were on the field playing or like on the bench or watching or whatever, I feel like you could tell that we were like pushing to the absolute like we were exhausted to the point where when that whistle blew, like I know Danny, everybody, like we literally dropped. Like we were so dead. We were giving our all because like, and I think at that point that's when we saw, well, for me that was like a true testament to how much like passion that I had, because like I think it's easy in a game, and like a football game, when one person loses the head or one person's not pulling the weight, it can easily affect the whole team. And I think in that instance, it was clear to see that everyone was like giving 110% because we all wanted to move on, and we were successful, and we played very well when we played together, and it was just a great feeling when the whistle blew and we made history. Yeah.
Okay. Tiana?
My most memorable game is the Jamaica game as well, because that's the game where we had Leilani and Jaden go off with concussions, like back to back. And those are like two of our strongest players at the time. And so obviously our minds were probably like, oh my gosh, like what are we going to do now? Obviously the whole team was strong, but then just seeing two players go out, that obviously had a toll on everybody. Like, are they okay? This and that. And then I had gone on for Jaden, and I was playing striker, and I just knew like we got to make sure that we just keep this ball out, keep it out of our box, make sure that they don't score. And then when we did it, you could tell everybody was like, wow, like we actually did that. And it was just great, a great feeling.
What about you, Jaya? You keep doing it.
My most memorable game, it wouldn't be a game that was like a team game, I would say. It was memorable to me because, it was the Canada game. Let's start with that. It was most memorable to me because, again, we have made history for the women's side. It's the furthest under 17 team have been. It was my first international start, and it was also my first international game back from injury. So I just feel like it's a game I'll never forget.
Okay. All right. And Zakari?
For me, it's definitely the Jamaica game. I remember I was under a lot of pressure, but at the same time, I felt like I was in a zone that I've never been in before. As in, I was motivated and I was so determined. Like when the score was 3-2, I think it was, I remember making like a lot of saves at the end, and it just boosted my confidence, and I felt ready. Like I felt like a whole different person. Like I was just in the zone. And I remember before the match, at the time, I was playing overseas at Montfort Academy, and Jody Brown, she plays for Florida State. I remember before the match, she was like, "Oh, you're not gonna beat Jamaica," because she's a Jamaican national team player. And I remember just after we won, in my head, I was like, "I can't wait to go back to Jody." It was so exciting, and I feel like I'll never forget the moment.
And then?
For me, I actually have like two memorable games, but like I would say for two different reasons. Like for me, it was one of our more recent tournaments in Guyana. It was like my first major like international mistake. And it like in the end, in so many words, it kind of did cause us to lose. And I remember feeling like the team like not come down on me. And like one moment I remember specifically was Koa. She actually like was like really nice to me, which isn't a surprise, you know.
Yes, Daddy.
But like,
Why are you bashing me?
she like came over to me and just like reassured me that, you know, everything's gonna be okay. And I really felt like that team support. And like my second game, which is like my most memorable game, like everybody else, was the Jamaica game. Like, even when I describe it to people now, it feels the same way. Like I can feel what it felt like that day. And being the captain, and actually the youngest captain there, like in that tournament at the time, it was just like I felt like a lot of pressure. So for us to pull that off as a young team, a history making team, like it was just a feeling that you can you can't forget. Like we were literally just like sprawled out on the floor. Like you heard the coaches talking about players like Adia, who was literally hop sprinting, whatever that is. Like it was just everyone was giving their all. Like it was just filled with passion and just it was a great game. Like it was a really great game.
Vance, you would have a lot of those memories, but what one would stand out for you?
I have two. I wasn't at that tournament when they beat Jamaica, but that was a good game. I congratulate them on that. My two are the under 20 game in Bermuda where we played Jamaica and we ended up losing 3-1. But we were in that game so much, and they got two late girls to beat us. That was a good game. I thought that was a good game. And my second one obviously has to be the under 15 championship. Any coach, when you win a championship as a coach, that's got to be memorable. And for the time that I've been involved in the women's game, my first game actually it was in Haiti, and Jamaica beat us 9-0. And then to win a championship, that's definitely exciting for a coach. So my two.
Okay. Now, no one likes to talk about the one that they always want to forget, but we're going to talk about the one you always want to forget. Danny, what's the one game you want to forget?
Oh gosh. I feel like a lot of us maybe are going to say that US game, but for me personally, it was the game I kind of just spoke about, the game against St. Lucia and Guyana. Oh, horrible. It was so horrible. My goodness, it was such a bad game for me, but it's a life lesson. It's, you just learn, you move on. Basically for me, it was, I had given a really bad back pass, kind of like a panic, just a lot of pressure. And like they ended up scoring off of it. And yeah, I so wish I can just delete that from my brain and just move on. But I'm kind of glad it did happen. No, I'm not. But I'm glad I'm able to learn from it.
Okay. Sakari.
For me, although most people may say the USA game, I feel like I learned a lot from that game. But I would probably say the game where we played Canada in Nicaragua. In the first less than 10 minutes, I got injured and tore my calf muscle. And we ended up losing, I think 3-1. But the whole time in my head, I was just thinking, well, if I didn't get hurt, maybe I could have saved this bowl. And, I was really stressed. I was really stressed after that happened. Like, I was crying. Oh my gosh, I was hoping the camera didn't zoom in on me. But I was crying like I was just mentally not in the match, if that makes sense. And I was like, maybe if I didn't go for the cross, I wouldn't have got hurt. We could have won. Like just things like that. So definitely.
Okay. All right, Jaya.
I don't know. I don't really think I have a game, even though people may think a game like the US game or our most recent game against Jamaica because it was such a broad scoreline. But I feel like even from this, you learn the most. So I don't think I want to forget any game that I've played.
Okay. Yeah.
The game, I wouldn't want to forget it, but me personally, I did not play well in that game. I had missed 2 sitters back to back just by overthinking. And that really hit me hard because Coach Vance had us doing shooting, and I was banging goals back to back. And then when it came down to it, I missed 2 sitters. So, yeah, that wasn't too fun.
Okay, all right.
I would not forget, because like everyone says, you learn like everything, you learn from everything that you, but the game that is my least favorable memory was the most recent one against Jamaica, not because of the scoreline, but because like I know, like I will go to my grave believing that we could have done so much better than that. Like not even, I won't even like pinpoint like, oh my gosh, this person did it, this person did it. I think just as a collective, like with a lot of factors taken into consideration, I just think that we should have and could have done so much better. Like I just know that no. But yeah, that was the game for me.
Yeah. Coach Vance, what game stands out for you as one that you will never forget for all the wrong reasons?
It actually was a game in the Island Games, maybe in 2007. We were playing the Isle of Wight, and we were playing in the gold medal match to go to the gold medal match. And we had played the team in the group games and beat them 5-1, I think it was. And when we got to that game, we hit everything else but the net. We hit the goalkeeper, we hit everything else. And after the game, I didn't speak to anyone, and we had to catch a boat to the mainland. And I just walked back to the bridge. I didn't even get on the team bus. I just walked back because I didn't want to see none of them, because they it was really a tough game because, like I said, we should have won the game, but that game there will always be in my mind.
Tiana, answer this question. What is one thing that someone said to you that you'll always remember when it relates to football?
Probably, I don't know. Shoot with my left foot when I was striker. Coach Vance would say that every time because I would have a clear shot on goal with my left foot, but I'll try and bring it over to my right foot and then end up fumbling it. So that's one thing I always remember, but obviously it don't really matter now that I'm playing defense unless I get up there.
Okay. Cool. What about you?
I can't, like, it's not like a specific thing that I've heard, but I know like coaches or even players have said just like words of encouragement. Those will always stick with me because like not even just me, but I know like us as players have the tendency to get down on ourselves. And I think having like those people, or rather idiots coaches or players my age or older players, like just these small like, oh, good job, or oh, you can do this, like those small things I think definitely helped me personally to get through the game and like hard games, hard training sessions and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I'll remember.
And giving Danny some good advice. All right, Jaya.
I'm not sure. Maybe just people continuing to tell me to continue the hard work and don't give up something I love, no matter how hard it gets.
Okay. All right. Lakari?
Okay, so for me, it's kind of different, but in a match, I will always think of the saying that the play is over, not the game. So as a goalkeeper, for example, in the USA game, when we conceded a lot, I remember that I would get down on myself, but then I had a person come to me after the game, and then he reminded me about all the saves I made and how although I let in a certain amount of goals, I also had double the amount of saves, So I think to remember that the play is over, not the game, helps me a lot because even if they get scored on, the game's going to continue, So I shouldn't focus on one goal that gets across me. I should, like, forget it happened, I guess, and move on and try and help encourage the team to get another goal.
Cool. All right. And Danny?
I would say for me it's a little different as well. Pertaining to football, I guess for me, I think it was the first time a younger player had said to me that they wanted to be just like me. And like, you know, I remember that they were a defender as well. They also had like played for a boys team for a while. And like that just really like motivated me, I think, as a player. Like every time now, like even if it's like a local game, but like especially international games, that's something that I always remind myself of, like that there's younger players that, you know, want to be like me, want to like, you know, be a defender, or like whatever the case may be. So it makes me just want to work harder, like always try my best and, you know, just be like an example pretty much.
Okay, cool, cool. What's something that you guys do personally outside of football that kind of helps you with football? And I'm going to start with you, Zakari.
For me, I'm always doing extras and stuff, home workouts, all of that, because I feel like you can't just train on training days, you know? So for me, as I said earlier, I'm a short goalkeeper. So like I'm always doing leg workouts, trying to up my vertical. And I feel like that helps me in the game because although I'm short, I'm able to jump a bit higher to get balls that taller goalkeepers will catch easily. And also, I like to relax in my downtime sometimes because although I do a lot of workouts, sometimes I'll do training sore because I did a workout, you know, so I'll try and relax so I could be prepared for the next training session.
Okay. Danny?
I would say for me, like I like do a lot of like singing in my downtime, like not very good singing, but like, you know, on the field, it helps me to calm down, it helps me to relax myself. I remember specifically in the Jamaica game, like I was just like really stressed out, like in a panic mood, and like I would just like basically like sing a song in my head, something that like relaxes me, or like I'll breathe, like I'll like do like counts and stuff like that. I think it's like really important to keep a level head in a game because, you know, once one player is kind of mentally checked out, you know, it can kind of check out other players on your team, and like you don't really want that. So definitely something along those lines.
Okay. I'm gonna ask before I go to the next person. Corey, you seem to be the closest person to Danny. What song you think she sings?
What song do I think Danny sings?
Yeah, in her head, she just said she sings a song. So, what song you think she sings?
I don't know. I think
really well.
Danny's a singer. Danny is in the choir. I think like anything, I don't know, like soulful music, like things like you have to sing with your, I don't know. I could just see Danny singing her heart out, but I don't know what song like specifically. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, all right. Being that I've got you up, what are some of the things you do outside of football that helps you with football?
I run, fun. So that like I've always ran, so that I think obviously it helps in my game, but something that like isn't really related to football but also helps is I dance, and I think it is important in order for someone to like keep the passion and the love for something. I think you need to be able to know when to step back, and I think like dance is my I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but like it's a way to like release, I guess, because football, like even like a physical way, like football, you build muscle and you're like, it's exertion, and even dance, like it allows me to be stretched out and that type of thing. So I feel like in a physical aspect, it prevents me from injury, but it also allows me to I wouldn't say express myself, but it's just like a freeing thing that I like to do in my free time. That like not that it distracts me from football, but it's like I just think it's a good thing to have, like not to eat, sleep, breathe football, gym, running, that type of thing.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Like 2 to 3 days a week, I'll do extras. One of the days I message Jaya and then we meet up at T and Tatum, and we just do shooting, driving, crossing, all that stuff, just to work on our touch, our finishing. And then for me personally, with the shooting and stuff, even though I don't do a lot of shooting in a game, my technique improves. So it'll help me when I'm trying to cross the ball to somebody, or if I get in the altercation where I need to take a shot, then I'm more confident behind the ball.
Okay. Jaya?
Wow, as Tiana said, we do extras together sometimes, but outside of Tiana, I have, like I said, a football family. So I have many people that I do extras with and that I'm able to do extras with, but I also do extras on my own, and I do like gym workouts and stuff to try build that strength, because I'm not the biggest person. So I just need something so that the aggression on the field could be able to happen.
I was going to ask you about that. You seem like the quiet person around, and you're probably explosive when you get mad. Are you that type of person? Do you flip that switch at times?
Yeah.
Have any of you guys seen her flip that switch yet? No, everybody's saying no. Okay, you telling me the truth, Jaya? What's happening? What's happening?
They just haven't gotten me mad, I guess.
Okay. Then.
Actually, no, I've seen Jaya like kind of get mad. Me and Jaya play on the same boys team, so sometimes when they're getting on our nerves, I know Jaya will step up and be like, you know, the mama of the group and be like, you know, get your stuff together sometimes.
Vance, when you look around this group here, everybody has something that they bring to the group that's unique. Can you go through the list and say what, from a coaching aspect, what that uniqueness is for each one of them that you see?
Certainly. That's a part of why we're coaching. I think Zakari, she brings that relaxed atmosphere. She's very jovial. Very rarely have I seen her like serious. Koa probably on the same. Koa brings that joke up type of setup sometime, but when time needs to be business, she gets with the business. I think Jaya it brings that quiet shyness, but I know she's not. She just portrays that around us. I think Koa also the leadership. I think Danny brings leadership. Danny brings compassion. She brings that will to wanna do well. I think Tiana brings that fight that sometimes the players need to see. And I think all of them are unique, and they all bring what the team needs at that time. I'll tell you one quick story. When we were in IMG playing in the under-15s, and we were drawing a game, and we needed to win. And I took Koa off because I saw she was getting a little flustered. Everybody looked at me and what you do? And I said, hey, you want to come off too? But then you saw the group gel together. So there's definitely leaders in the group, at different times. But they all have, like I said, to bring the unique feeling to the team, which is a good thing. We haven't, as I can't remember who said it, we probably haven't had too many squabbles in the team that I've known of. Maybe they have had their own squabbles, but we haven't had too many where, this team's like a family. Even with the older girls, it's like a family, and we're all just one group. I think that's what helps us be successful.
Okay, all right. Now that's something for you girls to do. You have 3 coaches in Coach Vance, Coach Keita, and Coach Dinkins. I want you to give me one impression or something about one of those coaches that they're always saying, they're always doing, they act this way, or just anything that that will put a smile on their face, and next time they see you at training, you're gonna have to do a couple of extra laps. So I'm gonna start with you, Zakari. What's that coach? Who's that coach, and what's something that stands out for you for them?
I'm sorry, my Wi-Fi's been acting up, but
No worries.
if I'm understanding your question correct, Coach Kita should be like really, what are you really doing? Something like that. Like she just wants the best for us, really, and she's really a really good coach, and I think she just wants the best for us. But when we make silly mistakes, it's not really that silly at this stage that we're in, as in we're in the women's team.
Coach Kita's putting pressure on you guys because she says she's watching. But it's all good. She can't get to you right now. Coach Vance is on here, so, don't worry. You're safe with me. Go ahead there, Danny.
For me, I think it's I would say like with Coach Kita, kind of like the same things that Kari said, but like if it's like directed at me, I think it's more. I love the fact that she's watching. I think it's more like how do I say it? How do I feel like it's just like it's really nice, like it's like tough love. Like I just feel like when Coach Kita yells at me, it's like Danny, find words. I don't know. It's like it's good. I don't know how to explain. I'm gonna move on, but like you get what I'm trying to say. But like I feel like with Coach Jenkins,
I'll just put this up. You're nervous because she's watching.
But I feel like with Coach Jenkins, it's just like I find it funny, like when we he works with like the defender, so like when we're doing like drills and stuff, and like we don't have enough numbers, and he comes in and we're doing like a rondo drill where he has to like do a lot of work, and then he like do 2 rounds and gets tired, and like everyone will laugh at him. Like I feel like that's like a Jenkins thing for sure.
Okay. Sorry, Jenkins, you ain't going line, so I'm gonna pick on you, brother. Jaya?
Oh, sorry.
Good, no, good.
Like since nobody's picked on Coach Vance, I'm gonna be the one to do it. Even though he's very serious when needed, he's definitely the joker of the coaches. He likes a joke, he likes a laugh, but when he gets serious, it's just like everything's quiet. Like you don't want to say anything because he's dead serious. Coach Kita's also a joker too. She loves a joke. She loves a laugh. And when it's time to get serious, she's serious. So, yeah.
She claims, and she's also recording for Coach Jenkins. So you're all straight. Don't worry about it. Got you covered. Tiana, how you been? What about you?
With Coach Kita, which always makes me laugh every trip, she's gonna tell you there's a flight home with your name on it if you act up. And then, like Danny said with Jenkins, he always joins in the rondo and training, but he likes to cheat. So instead of him going in, he'd be like, "Oh nah, this team's going in instead." So.
Okay, yeah.
I'll start with what Tiana and Jai was saying about Coach Jenkins. I mean, not Jai, Danny. He makes up his own rules. That's something I always remember. Like it could be the most obvious. Like if they say Purple kicked it out, and if Jenkins is on Purple, you best believe that Purple will not be punished. Like when I say makes up his own rules to the fullest extent. But that's memorable about Jenkins. About Coach Vance, like Jai was saying, he has like a serious side and a joker side. And one thing I'll always remember about Coach Vance is when he got beat up by Shania under 15. And Coach Kita, she's very honest, and she stresses that to us all the time. Like on a more serious note, she if we have a question or if we want to know like what we can like. I think we can always count on her. Well, like none of the coaches are gonna lie to us. That's not what I'm saying. But she, like I think that's one of the most prominent things when I think about Coach Key. Like she's gonna be honest with you, and I think that will only make us better as a team. So yeah, those are my 3 things.
Okay, all right. Well, you put the coaches on the spot. Not to worry. If any punishment comes on, you ladies, I'll take it for you. Just call me out, and I'll talk to the coaches for you. That's right, Coach Keelan Jenkins and Coach Vance. I'm glad these girls back. What's that?
National Stadium's a big field.
Oh, I know.
I see a lot of extras coming.
Oh, the threatening you like.
I know.
You can handle it. Don't worry.
I don't make threats. I make jokes.
Well, Coach Vance, just remember, I didn't say anything.
Coach Vance, we were all laughing when Shania beat you up. It's okay.
We're a team.
Okay.
We're a team. Remember that.
Well, I do really want to thank you guys. Coach Keita saying it's a promises. Okay, all right. I want to thank you guys for coming on, sharing your messages, and just giving our the rest of the country a chance to hear positive young ladies talk about their experiences thus far. And we know that there's still a long journey ahead, but with you guys' spirit and you guys' willingness to be a part of something that's heading in the right direction, I think that only bodes well for the entire country and for you guys yourselves. But I want to say good luck in what you're doing or what your immediate future holds for you. I know some of you are still doing school remotely, which is not the easiest thing, but be encouraged. Okay?
Thanks, Earl. Thanks for having us.
That we say good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.